Hi, it's Sue. Welcome back to my channel today, where here it is Thursday. Can't believe it's Thursday already. I'm not sure quite where this week has gone. It's just flown past. Tuesday here was a beautiful day, so we definitely had a day off on Tuesday and went to the beach just for a walk, and lunch was really nice. But we go to a beach a little bit of a drive away from us, favourite spot, so worth the drive, definitely. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, which was yesterday, I had a play, and I thought I'd share with you what I played with yesterday. I'd been watching a few videos over the last 5 or 6 days, I guess, and one of them shared how to make faux rice paper. Now, I don't know whether you've ever tried it. I know I haven't, but I thought now's the time. I had to go at a couple of different things. One of them, faux rice paper. And the video I watched was from Sharon Hoeth. I think that's her name. I'll link her video below. And she used paper napkins. And she used paper napkins that she lay on a sheet of freezer paper and then added a white glue, PVA glue or school glue, mixed with water. And she actually used a little bit of coffee, I think, to dye hers. I had a tiny bit of tea in my dye, not a lot. But this was the result, and I thought I'd share these with you. I clearly here, I don't know whether you can see that, I've missed a few little spots, which is quite easy to do because the tissue does crease up, as you can see here. I quite like the creases, and I think, you know, you could add a bit of tea dye or ink is what I'm trying to say, vintage photo, something like that over that, and age it up even more. This side, this is the side that sat on the shiny side of freezer paper. That's come up really smooth and quite shiny. Not so shiny on this side. But yeah, I thought it was really fun. I made a few pieces. This was another one. I think, in fairness, if you use a napkin with a lot of white in the background, it is much more transparent. I had this napkin, which I quite like. It's still transparent, so it still works, but yeah, a bit different. Doesn't look, you know, once you add this to some paper, I'm sure it looks like the flowers are a bit floating. Yeah, this was my second go, and I haven't taken the little bits of the paste off the side, but they come off quite easily. And I didn't have any problem lifting these off the board. It worked quite well. The good thing about this is that you can also use, you know, you still layer your napkin, and if you've got a 3-layer napkin, you can use all 3 layers. The white layer is equally good, and I mean, you know, there are lots of ways you can use this on a page, and it's feels quite nice. It's quite strong. Quite strong, a bit flexible, so you know you can mess around with it. This one, this was this napkin was a sort of a paler colour, a sort of a taupey, beigey colour all over, with the darker shades in these Paris buildings, the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, so on. But I think it still came out quite good. And I mean, there's nothing to stop you using that as a page in a journal. I'd have to just play around with this edge, I guess, or not. Depends how you like it. But yeah, I mean, that could work out quite well. So those were the bits that I played with. And then what I did was I thought I would use them and make a little project. So I made this little envelope, and as you can see, or maybe you can see, I hope you can see, I did stitch around this. So it's stitched very well. And I've added, oh gosh, they're not eyelets. What am I trying to say? Anyway, I've added 2 of them to help hold this down. Brads, that's what I'm trying to say. How easy was that? Yeah, so I added some brads and as a tie. And inside, well, I should show you the front. I've decorated the front. And these 2 pieces are actually use a different method. So if I just drop that there, leave that there, I'll show you these pieces. All of these have had, oops, they're alive. They've had a coating of wax over them. And these pieces in particular, I've stamped onto tea-dyed paper and then added a ironed on some beeswax, and this is how they came out. And these 2 are quite translucent, probably not as translucent as the faux rice paper, but you know, it gives them a really nice feel. And this is just ordinary copy paper, and it's definitely given them a bit more strength. This is another of the labels. This is one of my labels, and I've waxed this, and I like the look. It gives an aged look. I must say, my wax I've had for years. If you give me a minute, I'll show it you. Won't be so. Okay, so this is my beeswax. It came like this. And it actually says pure beeswax. It was 250 grams. And I couldn't find a price on it. Or there may have been a price. Actually, I think that was a price there. It was about $5 Aussie. But that was a long time ago. I've had this for ages. I can't remember why I bought it. I know I had a smaller round block that I used to use to wax thread when I was quilting. Whether I thought, you know, this would be handy to have for that, don't know. But I used it on here, and because of the colour of it, I think that has helped give it that really aged look. And I literally just use an old knife and scrape bits off. And then use my craft iron just to melt the wax onto the pieces. So those were they, and I did some fussy cut butterflies as well, and they've come out quite well. Gives them a bit of, you know, they feel great. They feel smooth. It thickens them up. I mean, these are just printed on ordinary copy paper. And if I show you that somewhere, where did I put it? Here it is. This was how these little labels started. They were just printed onto tea-dyed paper, and once the wax went on, this was the colour I ended up with. So, you know, it ages things colour-wise really well. I also did a few of my stamp pieces. These were pieces I stamped to the brown packaging tape, sticky on one side, and they've come up quite well too. I quite like the way they look. I mean, obviously I've lost the sticky because I wax on both sides, but you know, that's fair enough. I did this is one of Artie May's dragonflies, did that. That came up really well. And the thing that I really wanted to do, oh, that's another butterfly there, was to add the wax to some photos. And here's a couple. I think I've got some more somewhere. I don't know what I've done with them. But if you see, I mean, it's a bit dull at the moment here, but it actually does make them quite translucent. And it just adds something to the photo, I think. I really like that. And I'm not overly generous with the wax. I mean, I didn't really put a lot on. And I'm interested to see if I can scratch these. Let's just try with this one. To see, you know, if you scratch off. Oh yeah, it does scratch. Yeah, you can. You can scratch off some of the wax. And I suppose, you know, depending on how thick you put the wax on and where you scratch. I mean, if I was to scratch on the darker side, it would be much more visible. I won't do it. Oh, maybe I will, just down in this corner. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah, it does make a difference. And that could be quite interesting. I've seen other people do that. This was a piece of copy paper. It was the remnants of the paper these were stamped on. And I've done the same with this. Coated it both sides with just a thin layer of wax. And I like it. So yeah, I had fun with those. I think, you know, I think I'll be doing a bit more, particularly on photos. I really like the effect on the photographs. I did a few napkins as well. I'll just pop all these back in here just to keep them all together, really. But, you know, that would... It clearly, the one surface will stick to the other. I just use the my art glitter glue, and I had no problem gluing that, so you know it works. I did a few other bits of napkin. This was the dragonfly napkin that I added the wax to, and yeah, quite like how that turned out. This was another one, and you can see it, yeah, it's quite nice. I mean, you could scrunch that up and add it as, great for collage, you know, scrunch it up, tear it down and use on a collage page. This was another piece. You could cut individual images out of that. And this was it, the wax on plain, well, either the second or the third layer of tissue. And that's quite good, you know, I mean, you could add that to a page. If you did a sheet of it, that could be a page in a journal, just for something a bit different. So that was my play, and that was really fun. I enjoyed that. And the other thing was I did a bit of a look through Etsy and I found some little fairy images. Got some more somewhere. Here they are. I'll show you these. And this was from somebody I'd never seen before, but these just popped up. And I particularly like these bigger ones. I've only printed a few just to have a play with. But so pretty. How pretty are they? And I thought in a journal that could be quite nice. So this piece is an envelope that I've decorated, and I'm thinking that could go in a journal. And I'd probably put a sheet of a DIGI image or something across here and use it as a pocket, a flip over. So that was that one. Just added some of my washi, did a bit of sponging, stamping, added some lace, and that was an envelope. And I thought today I would share with you a couple of other little pieces using these images. The first of them would be a tag, a little tag, and this is a tag that I think I was playing on the Cameo using my initial, and I cut a tag shape and had it draw the line and my initial. Well, you know, I proved the point I could do it. Would I use it? Probably not. I did quite a few actually. I probably did a large 12 by 12 sheet. So I thought I'd use this to decorate with one of the little fairies. And I've pulled out a couple of pieces. And I was thinking something like this. And this is a sticker, a mushroom sticker. What do you think? Simple, but could be nice in a little journal. So I'll just use my glue stick and pop this in. How's your week been? Have you had some crafting time, or have you been busy with other things? I mean, I've got to say, I feel quite guilty this week. I don't seem to have done much outside. We're still desperately waiting for rain. They're talking it might happen tomorrow, we'll see. Be good if it does. The dam is looking quite low. Did I get that on straight? Let's just try that again. Better. Yeah. What else have you been up to? Have you been doing any crafting? If you have a page on Instagram, or you do a bit of filming yourself, let me know your addresses, because I'd like to see what you do. Sometimes, you know, it's quite nice to see other people's work. Well, often it's nice to see other people's work. I find that I get a bit, oh dear, I seem to do the same things. And I like to spend a bit of time checking out other people's videos or Instagram pages. So if you have either, let me know. I'd love to come and visit. Here we go. And this is a sticker. So where's that pin? Okay. So much easier for me with a pin. I've got a bit of cord here for the top. will we tie a bow? What do you think? Let's see. Oh, the sun's just come out. We're up to 8 lambs now. We think there might be one of our sheep who is still yet to produce. We're not sure. It's Baby, the one we hand reared, and we're not sure whether she will this year, but she's the only one left really who hasn't. There we go. What do you reckon? It's a cute little tag, isn't it? So that's the second piece. Now the other one, I thought I'd decorate a glassine bag. These are always nice in journals, either in a pocket or as a flip on a page, or just adhere to a page. You know, I guess if you were going to adhere it, you do it this way, so that you could open the flap and pop something in. I think I'm going to do the front, and I've got a few pieces here, and one of the bigger fairies, how sweet is she, and I've sponged all around. I've got a piece of book page, another little piece of ephemera, some of my washi, this is mulberry paper, isn't it, that I've just gathered. I did the same on the tag, and I'm thinking our little fairy can sit around here. And I've got a little butterfly sticker that I thought we might put up here. I don't want to go in off the page, might do it like that. And then these little word tags are some that I printed from the computer. Just made a black sheet and then typed in white to get that. So I was thinking something like that. Okay, so we can add that to our little ruffle, and that's good to go. And then we want these two. This is another page from the Longfellow Book of Poetry. Very fragile piece, especially on these edges. Okay. Want to leave a little border, it's better. I was going to pop that under there. Now, where was I? Oh, here. were a couple of words in this piece that I didn't like, so I want to cover them. And what I'll do, just tear that end down. Yeah. I think that's too late to pop that under there. So we'll just add that like so. Pin. Wrong way round. Okay. I want to see that number, so we'll move her up a little bit. Yeah, I think she needs to be about there. Okay. The other thing I've been doing this week is organising some signatures for the blue and white journal cover I put together. It's not quite ready yet, but it's getting close. I think I'm going to keep it, that's not straight. Yeah, I'm going to keep it reasonably plain because I'm not too sure what I'm going to use it for. I was thinking about the ideas journal, and then I thought, will I or will I use it, make it into another journal? I just can't decide. So I've got the pages all together. I need to work out whether I want to do any stitching or any other bits. Doesn't want to stick that bit there. But I'll share that as soon as I've got that ready. We'll be sharing that one. And I bought a couple of other books for the covers, so I think there'll be a couple more coming along too. I can't resist second-hand bookshops, or op shops as we call them here. I don't think she's particularly straight there really, but never mind. That will have to do. Butterfly. And we'll put this on with our glitter glue, I think. And now our butterfly. There we are. So that's our glassine envelope, a little tag, and a decorated paper envelope. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for taking the time to call past. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this video will go up today. I'll see you over the weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye now.